to the Virtual Home Remodeling Tour. Sit back and enjoy this peek inside beautifully remodeled Coon Rapids homes. Hear from our housing experts about the great incentive programs available to you as a Coon Rapids resident, and be inspired by the projects your neighbors have tackled using our Home for Generations 2 program. I'm your host, Jennifer Anderson, joined by Kristen DeGrand, the Housing Programs Coordinator for the City of Coon Rapids. And Kristen, we are going to see a number of video tours that look at kitchens, home additions, exterior improvements, and more. And behind each one is the Home for Generations 2 program, which, Kristen, really is pretty unique to the City of Coon Rapids.
Absolutely, Jen. The Home for Generations program is just one of the city's home improvement programs that are available, and it's specifically designed for people that are doing those really large interior remodeling projects. And certainly exterior improvements are also eligible, but it's for those people that are doing those big projects that are valued at $35,000 or more. And through the program, homeowners will be eligible for a grant up to $5,000, a building permit rebate, which normally is at least a couple $100, a low-interest loan at either 1% or 3%, which is up to $50,000, and a great option, but it is optional, it's not required.
And Kristen, who can participate in Home for Generations 2?
So the people that are eligible for this program include owner-occupied properties, so you must own and live in the house. You need to be current on your property taxes. The house itself needs to be at least 20 years old, and but there are no income limits, so really most of the city is eligible.
As we mentioned, Kristen, this is really just for the major projects, correct?
Yes, so this program is specifically designed at the core for homeowners that are looking to do that major interior remodeling project. The full kitchen remodel, the full bathroom remodel, the basement finish, a room addition, one of those really large value-added improvements to the property.
And then if you add an additional project, specifically exterior, a component there, you can potentially receive more money back.
Yes, so the program was designed that people that are also thinking about the outside of their home, the curb appeal of their house, would get a larger grant than those that are just doing the interior remodeling. So if you are doing some exterior curb appeal, a new front door or garage door, driveway, stone on the front of your house, then you'd be eligible for a 10% grant up to $5,000, versus if you're only doing the interior project or inside work that the rest of us can't see from the outside, then you'd be eligible for a grant up to 5% of your total project cost, maximum of $2,500.
And it is those rebates and added perks of the Home for Generations 2 program that sometimes give homeowners the extra nudge they need to take on a project that they've been thinking about for a long time.
We kind of decided, okay, it's time. Let's do it.
They had talked about it for years, but after learning about the city's Home for Generations 2 program, Mark Sneen and his wife April finally took action.
We always talked about taking this wall down and opening everything up. We started looking around and kind of came up with our ideas of what we wanted to do, and started talking to some contractors and different people coming out and giving us their idea.
The Sneens started the kitchen remodeling process in the spring of 2021, and 5 months later, construction began.
We had people coming in starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, sometimes till 7 o'clock at night. We're trying to live through it and different things. And so we actually moved our kitchen area down into our lower level.
We love it. It is so much more open. The space feels just way more usable.
The new center island is now a gathering point for everyday family life and special occasions like birthdays and holidays.
I think it was just the fact that this main level here, it felt so closed off with that kitchen wall, or the partial wall that we took out, and knowing how open that would make the space, that just seemed like the project that would make the biggest difference.
Other changes in the kitchen include a built-in vacuum system, an under-the-counter microwave that pops out of a drawer with the push of a button, and a new pantry.
I think the exciting thing that I really enjoy is we actually closed off our front closet and that wall, and we actually put a pantry in. So I've got a pantry we can open up and everything's right there, and that was just huge. That's a real fun thing.
The Sneens credit the Home for Generations 2 program for helping them every step of the way, and encourage others thinking about a large remodeling project to take time planning and not rush the process.
The program will get you there, and just follow their lead. Everything that we received from this, the city and for Home for Generations really walked us through, do this, do this, do this.
It's exactly what we were thinking as we dreamed about it, I guess, for quite some time.
If you've been dreaming about a project for a long time like the Sneens, Kristen, the first step might be to schedule a visit.
Yes, we do have, in addition to everything else to this program, we do have what is called as the Remodeling Advisor Visit. Now this is an opportunity for homeowners to meet with someone with construction background and get advice, unbiased advice, from somebody before you decide what projects it is that you want to do through the program. Of course, once that happens, and if you want to do that, it is completely optional. The next step would be to submit an application with the city. That application is available on the city's website. Just fill it out and email it to us here at the city. And then a required element of this program is everybody who does go through the program is required to do a 2-hour consultation with one of the architects. That information will be emailed to you once you do apply. The next step then would be to start collecting bids from contractors for the projects that you want to do. Or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, go ahead and get a material list from suppliers showing the items that you'd be using for your project and their prices. Submit those to the city and have your contractor apply for the permits. At that point, we would then send you the participation agreement, which would need to be signed by you and returned before you can start your work. Then of course, once the work is completed, then you let us know. We come out to your property, do all of our final building inspections, and the grant and rebate check will be dispersed to you.
I'm joined now by Connor Marquette. He is with Durcon Construction, one of the contractors that has worked through the Home for Generations 2 program with the city before. Connor, thanks for chatting with me today.
Thanks for bringing me in.
So one of the things we just talked about are the steps that homeowners take if they choose to participate in Home for Generations 2. And I think a key piece of that is the design consultation. I am curious, what are your thoughts as a contractor when you're coming into the project to work with a client that has thought through some of those things and has had that moment to pause and speak with experts about what their project can be or should be or could be?
Right. Yeah, I think it definitely helps us as a contractor to come in. The homeowners have kind of talked through a little bit on what their ideas are, what their plans are, talk with that design expert to really understand what they're able to do with their home. So that gives us a good starting point of, all right, we've talked with an expert, here's kind of what we're thinking, and then we kind of help them dial that into, come up with a final plan and really make sure we execute on what they're looking to do.
One of the homes that you worked on was the Sneen home, which we saw earlier in this program. Can you tell me a little bit about what it was like to do that project? That was a kitchen and they opened up a wall. Having gone through the Home for Generations project and program, what did that do for that project in particular and that family to work with them?
Yeah, the Sneens were wonderful to work with. We actually worked on a kitchen remodel pretty similar to their project a couple houses down. So we did a pretty similar remodel, so they were able to really see what was able to be done with a similar layout. We ended up removing a wall which enclosed that kitchen pretty substantially. So taking out that wall opened everything up, allowed for the peninsula to come out, offer a lot of great seating area, great prep area for cooking. The homeowner is a chef himself, so he really appreciated, getting it more open, being able to really entertain people, have people over, and show off his skills.
A kitchen worthy of his talent.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Great. What do you see as the benefits of Home for Generations? You just sort of touched on this in terms of that sort of contagious itch that people get when they see their neighbor do something.
Right.
That is really a big purpose of the program for the City of Coon Rapids, is they want people to see what their neighbors are doing and to realize what's possible. And when your neighbor's home gets spiffed up, it's just natural that you think, oh, well, I kind of want some of that over here.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, I think the program is great to offer some incentive for homeowners to not only, kind of get a taste of what the process is going to be like, and they put pieces together to kind of help homeowners through that process, but also some incentive with some funds as well that make sure the homeowners can create that space or project of their dreams. So the process really, I think, is smooth. It's very unique to Coon Rapids, and I wish that more cities would do it. I think that it's a win-win for everybody involved.
And you specialize at your company at remodeling, so you are used to working with people that have been in their home for a while and have to stay in that home while construction is happening. What's your advice to homeowners who might be watching and thinking about this? How do they mentally prepare for a project that can be quite large in a home that you're still living in?
Yeah, so I mean, at DIRTCon we do a fantastic job of making sure those expectations are set up front. We really focus on protecting their home and trying to maintain dust, debris, all that stuff within the work area. So we use flooring protectant, protectants on the doors, poly walls to really contain the work area. So I think that helps to keep that project contained within a certain area, so the rest of their home isn't affected by the project. So yeah, it's a challenge, but I think as long as we're working and being open and communicating with the client what's going on, it usually goes pretty smoothly.
Well, thanks so much for chatting with us, Connor. I really appreciate it. And the next project on our tour is a good example of how homeowners learn to work through the construction. The Wilson family took on a huge home addition for their Home for Generations project. In the process, they learned to adapt to the disruption and got a great payoff in the end result.
I mean, we had to keep reminding ourselves that this is what we wanted and it would be worth it in the end.
Jamie Wilson and her husband Lucas were thinking about buying a cabin when friends who live on Crooked Lake told them about a nearby home for sale. It wasn't long until they purchased the 1976 split-level home and moved in. They knew they wanted to make some big changes to the space, and things finally started taking shape last year.
I think for us, we like to entertain. We obviously know that with the lake, we would have a lot of people kind of in and out and spending time with us over the summer. And just with the layout that it currently had, I was finding that it just wasn't as functional for that. There wasn't really a bathroom close by where people are coming and going off the lake. So a lot of sand, a lot of water through the house and on the carpet.
So they had a 16-foot addition constructed off the back of the house, complete with a new lower-level bathroom and family room, a deck with a fireplace, and a new master suite and bath. They also freshened up the front of the home, adding a new garage door and an architectural feature above the garage.
We had a few month stretch where we got to be roommates with our toddler children and having their little beds in our master bedroom while everything was being demoed and constructed. The room that we're sitting in right now at one point was a dirt trench for new plumbing for the bathrooms.
Construction on the project took about 10 months to complete and added about 900 square feet to the home. Their 3 children now each have a bedroom of their own, and Mom and Dad's new space has a unique tub and shower combination that Jamie loves.
My husband had gone on a work trip and saw that concept of kind of that wet room bathroom and sent me pictures, and I'm like, yes, this is totally it. I've never seen anything like it. Let's do it.
Jamie says the city's Home for Generations 2 program is easy to follow, and along with the financial benefits, the low-cost architectural consultation really helps.
So little things about, oh, the room might feel more balanced if you do this. The window size might be better like this, or here are some window options that you might want to consider. Our little desk area upstairs is a much more functional use of space than what we had originally intended. And so I think that consultation for the value was huge.
Jamie and her family are looking forward to the warm summer months ahead on Crooked Lake in their new space, free from the construction disruptions of last year. But more home improvement projects are likely on the horizon, and she says she wouldn't hesitate to use the Home for Generations 2 program again.
And it's certainly a good feeling when you've written all the checks for all of the construction to get one back and be able to put that back in the bank.
That money back incentive was a big motivator for our next homeowner as well. For the past decade, the Heck family knew they wanted to remodel their Rambler. Learning all that Home for Generations 2 has to offer helped them get across the finish line.
I'm here today with Angie. She is the homeowner of the house that we're currently standing in and a recipient of the Home for Generations program. Angie, if you just want to tell us about how long you've lived here, how long you've been dreaming about doing some remodeling.
Yeah, so my husband and I, we moved in 2012. And at the time, I had all kinds of ideas of different things that we wanted to do. So over the years, we've definitely kind of collaborated and come up with our main plan.
Okay.
And it took about 10 years until we were able to kind of finalize everything. And then we found the program in the city flyer and thought we would see how that could benefit us with our remodeling.
Okay. And then I know you were telling me before that you and your husband had actually attended past home remodeling tours to get ideas as well as what other homeowners have been doing in their homes.
Yes, we did, and it was really fun. That was many years ago before the pandemic. But yes, it was very fun to walk through homes that are similar in age to ours, just to get some ideas on what might be able to be done. Fixtures, just upgrading and updating.
So obviously you remodeled the kitchen.
We did.
So the layout was rearranged.
Yes, so we added a oven and microwave in the wall. We took down some walls to kind of get a more open concept in kind of a typical Rambler, 1970s Rambler.
And then you added this space, or not added the space, but changed the space.
We did. This was our dining room.
Okay.
And around the corner here, I can show you that we made our formal dining room with what used to be a bedroom. And so we knocked down some walls. We converted the closet into a pantry.
Okay.
And to really give it that open concept that is a surprise to people that walk through.
Absolutely. So a lot of change, a lot of openness now.
Yes. Yep. And we added all this extra storage. The coffee bar, we use that every single day.
Excellent.
It's been such a huge improvement, and we're just so pleased with it.
Through the program, you also did some exterior improvements too, right?
We did. So as part of the grant, rebates, 2 exterior improvements give you, I believe it's a 10% rebate on your total project. And so we added some nice stone and upgraded the front of our siding. And we decided to add on and replace our external front door in order to take advantage of those perks.
The city wanted to have that part of the program is to incentivize homeowners to think about the outside.
Yes.
Other homes too, not just the spaces that you guys see, but the spaces that your neighbors see.
Yes.
So what do your neighbors think about the outside of your home?
Yeah, we've had nothing but incredible feedback, and just the unique design that we selected, and the contractor that we worked with is local and he's really great. And looking around, there's many other houses on the block that have also taken advantage of upgrading their siding, and that's really exciting.
Absolutely. It's fun to see that energy.
Yes.
After all you've seen, are you interested in what Home for Generations 2 can do for you? To apply for the program, go to coonrapidsmn.gov/home4generations. There you will find a detailed application and checklist to follow. You will be guided through the process every step of the way. You can submit a completed application by email or bring it to City Hall, or simply reach out to Kristen directly. You can call or email her anytime you have questions and to get the ball rolling. And Kristen, a big part of your job is working with these residents, so you must get to know them pretty well.
Yes, I mean, of course, not as well as I used to pre-COVID, but I'm emailing and talking with residents all the time on the phone, or via email throughout this process, because it can be a little bit overwhelming or cumbersome, especially if they're also doing the financing, which is a separate application process. So yes, we spend a lot of months and months together sometimes.
And as you walk with them through the process every step of the way, it must be really gratifying and exciting to see the finished product. You must get to see some great improvements.
Yes, it is a fun part of my job that I get to go out to all these homes after the work is complete to see what the final product is. And it's even more fun when the homeowners share with me those before pictures, because otherwise, you don't have something to compare it to. But yeah, these projects, they turn out amazing.
Yeah, they come a long way, I'm sure.
Yes.
And perhaps someone watching will be next. On behalf of Kristen and the City of Coon Rapids, we thank you for watching and remind you that all of the information we covered today can be found at coonrapidsmn.gov/home4generations.